Yo, what's going on guys? It's your boy Vimy, and today I'm going to show you how to install Aether SX2 for the Xbox Series S and X Dev Mode. If you guys do not have Xbox Dev Mode, I do have a tutorial in the link in the description that'll show you how to install and activate Dev Mode. And also, if you've never used a USB for Dev Mode, I also have a video link in the description showing you how to format it properly and allow a special permission so that it works properly on the app. Alright, bet. So the first things you're going to need is the Aether SX2 UWP file. I highly recommend getting the Revive Me PS2 pre-made folders. These are simply just pre-made folders for the app that keeps things more organized from your covers, your games, your memory card saves, and a lot of other things. I will have a Discord invite link in the description below to the Revives community server, and within here you can look for the Dev Mode apps thread, and then you can find all the apps such as Aether SX2 and also the pre-made USB folders. If you already had these from SPSX2, then all you would have to do is simply redirect them to the AETHERSX app. And then once you got all of these things, what we're going to do is simply go onto our Xbox so we can check out the link that we need to go to access the access portal so that we can install our app. Now I'm going to show you the remote access at the bottom, so simply click on remote access settings. And what we're going to do is enable the Xbox Dev Portal. What this will do is this is where we will install our apps. We would have to do this from the computer or your phone. Make sure to keep a screenshot of this because anytime you want to enter the access portal on your computer, you're going to have to use either one or two links, whichever one works for you. And then at the bottom there's the authentication where you can set a password and username. Me personally, I just keep this unchecked. It's just a little easier to get onto the page without having to enter your information every time. And then what we're going to do is we're going to leave our Xbox on this page. I bet. So what we're going to do is switch over to the PC. We're going to enter in one of the links for the access portal. Alright, now that we're on the computer, what we're going to do is enter in one of those links. And yes, please add the HTTPS within it. And then once you enter in the link, you should get a page that says your connection is not private. Attackers might attempt to steal your information. Simply at the bottom, click on Advanced and Proceed. Alright, bet. Once we're at the access portal, all you gotta do is underneath My Games and Apps, click on Add. And all we're gonna do is simply drag and drop that Aether SX2 file that we have right into it. And then click on Next. It's gonna ask you to choose any necessary dependencies. There is no dependencies for this app, so simply click on Start. And then just give it a moment until it fully registers. And then click on Done. And then now what we're going to do is head over to our Xbox and finish setting up the app. Alright, bet. Now that we're on Xbox Dev Mode, all you got to do is go down to the bottom to your list of apps. Look for Aether SX2 and press the select button on it. Go to View Details. Make sure to change this from an app to a game, unless you already have that set up in Dev Mode. And then all we're going to do is simply open up the app. Alright, bet. So first thing we're going to do is head over to the Games list. And then press the right bumper twice, and then you should see the games list settings. What we're going to do is click on Add Search Directory, go to Parent Directory, all the way until you see the drive letters. Go to your E drive, that should be your USB, and then simply look for your games folder that you're going to be putting your PS2 games into. And then go to Use This Directory. And then if you have games on your USB, you should see on the top left that it is scanning all your games. Just give it a moment. And then once that's finished, what we're going to do is press B. And then we're going to head down to Settings. Press the right bumper once, and you should see the BIOS settings. We're going to change the BIOS search directory to make sure it's set up to our USB. Go to Parent Directory until you see the drive letters, the E drive. Go to your pre-made PS2 files folder. And then simply go to your PS2 BIOS folder and click on Use This Directory. And then after that, what we're going to do is press the right bumper 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you should see the memory card settings. And what we're going to do is simply go to Memory Card Directory. I'm going to set this one up to our USB as well. So click on Parent Directory until you see the drive letters. Click on the E drive. Go to your pre-made PS2 files folder. And then simply look for the memory card folder. And go to Use This Directory, and then we're going to press the right bumper 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now you should see the folder settings. And now we're just going to set up the rest of the folders that we have for our USB. So now what we're going to do is go to your covers directory, go to parent directory, E drive, look for your PS2 files folder, and then go to your covers folder, go to use this directory. I'm going to do the same thing for the game settings. Go to E drive, PS2 files folder, game settings, use this directory. Same thing for the cheats directory as well. E drive, PS2 files, PS2 cheats, use this directory. Widescreen cheats directory, same thing. Go to your E drive, go to your PS2 files, go to your PS2 widescreen folder, use this directory. No interlace cheats directory as well. Go all the way to the parents. Go to the E drive, PS2 files, deinterlation patches folder, use this directory. And then for the last one, it should be the textures replacements directory. And then we have a folder for that as well. PS2 files, PS2 textures. And then click on use this directory. And that's pretty much it for the directories. We have completely set it up for our USB. So everything from our USB should now be set up to the app itself. So now what you could do is press B, go to your games list if you have any games, and then simply click on a game to make sure that it is loading properly. Alright, our game's loading properly, so I'm going to open the quick menu. For this app, by default, the quick menu is the left and right bumper and the left and right triggers at the same time. I actually do not like this, so what I'm going to do is simply go to close game. I'm going to go to exit without saving. Then now we're going to head down to the bottom and go to settings. And then what we're going to do is press the left bumper 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you should see the hotkey settings. Alright, so what we're going to do is simply click on the open pause menu. And as soon as you click it, it's going to ask you for a hotkey. You can make this whatever you want it to be. For me personally, I like the start and select button to be the quick menu. So I'm just going to click A. And then you should be prompted with something like this. I'm going to click the select and start at the same time. And then at the top, you should see start and back. So now that you know that's there. Alright, so what we're going to do is press the left bumper 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're at the hotkey settings. And all we're going to do is simply click on the open pause menu. And then it's going to ask you for a input binding. I'm going to do the select and start button at the same time. And then now you got that set up. And now you're pretty much good to go. Now, if this is your first time doing it and you've never formatted your memory cards, what you could do is go to Start BIOS. And then now it's going to load up the PlayStation 2 BIOS. And then all you simply got to do is go to the browser. Now you should see both memory cards pop up. So what you want to do is simply click A and access them. And they're going to ask you to format. Make sure to do it for both memory cards or else your saves are simply just not going to work. And then once you're finished with that, open up the quick menu and simply go to close game. Alright, bet. So for those who want to play in 16:9 full screen and also upscale their graphics, what you're going to do is go down to the settings, press the right bumper 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and you should get to the graphics settings tab. And then what we're going to do is simply underneath display, it should say aspect ratio. I'm going to change this to 16:9. Now this will make your games in full screen. And then if you go down a little bit, you should find internal resolution. This is set to native PS2 by default. If you're on the Series X, I highly recommend trying at least 5 times or even 4K. But if you're having issues in your games such as stuttering or the game's just playing very slow, then definitely change down the resolutions. And if you're on Series S, you could at least try the ×4 to 3.5 native. And then for the final thing we're going to do is set up the controller port 2 so that you can play 2 players with your friends. So all you simply got to do is press the right bumper 3 times, 1, 2, 3. At the top left you should see the controller settings tab. And all we're going to do is simply go all the way to the bottom. And then once you get to the bottom, go up twice, 1, 2. Now you should be at the controller port 2 and it should say controller type. All we got to do is click A on this. Click A on DualShock 2, Now by default, there probably shouldn't be any key bindings, so what you want to do is go to automatic mapping and simply automatically map it to X input controller 0. And then this would basically give it the default controls as if it was a PlayStation 2 controller. And that's pretty much about it. If you guys need any help, please let me know in the comments down below. Please hit that like if this video helped you out, and I hope to see you guys on the next video.